Morning, everyone. Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm your host, Robert Durden, and I'd like to start off the day today with some good news. So I got this from, yet again, the Daily Poster, and just so you guys know, I read about the same 3 or 4 newspapers, and then I branch out when I see things on Twitter, and then I watch 6 or 7 different people on YouTube, and that's where I get my news. And so you're going to see me quoting a lot of the same people, because I trust certain people to give me my information, and I update as we go. So if you're noticing, I'm using David Sirota, Andrew Perez, Walker Bragman. That's the Daily Poster. I highly recommend you subscribe and follow them, because that's where I'm getting this information quickly. And you heard it here first or second behind the Daily Poster. Andrew Cuomo has been forced to repeal his immunity law for all the corporations and the nursing homes that were responsible for a lot of people dying via COVID during the initial outbreak in New York City. So we did an episode on that really early on, where Andrew Cuomo had written in a corporate immunity clause into his I think it was his budget. And they redid the law, and it passed. So there was this outrage, and there should have been, and the Daily Poster caught it early, that they were basically going to allow all these corporations that were, for instance, a lot of the nursing homes were letting people back into the nursing homes that they hadn't checked for COVID, like they hadn't had a test. And I heard some of them weren't doing anything. They were just letting people in more or less without even fever testing or anything like that. So they were grossly negligent and probably maliciously negligent. And David Sirota broke the story as it was happening, and here's what happens, guys, and this is what I like to see, is this: David Sirota has not been nice about anything. He's just breaking the story and crushing people with it, and it's great journalism, but beyond that, this proves that if you get on politicians' asses and strong-arm them and embarrass them and leverage them in any way you can, actually play hardball, you can get them to do some good things even if they don't want to. Andrew Cuomo's in a lot of trouble. I mean, a lot of trouble. I'm not talking Matt Gaetz trouble. Matt Gaetz is in a lot of trouble. He's in prison time trouble. Andrew Cuomo's he might have to resign kind of trouble. So when you're in a position like that, to keep your job, what do? If you're just getting embarrassed over and over and over again by good journalism, you have to try to save face. So that's all this is. He's not doing the right thing for the right thing's sake. He's doing the right thing because the Daily Poster broke this stuff and never shut up about it. And we finally got him to do something good because he's embarrassed that he did it bad the first time, and he's worried about losing his job. And he still should resign, by the way. This does not fix anything. And it also has nothing to do with the obvious sexual misconduct that Cuomo has been doing with at least 8 different women have come forward now. So he's gross. I wouldn't mind seeing him resign and him still getting time like Gaetz might. But I think that this is a good sign that we can actually get them to repeal some bad laws if you just pressure them enough. I'm not saying all Republicans will be able to be pressured this way, but some Democrats might. So don't be nice to people. Stop being nice to people. Politics isn't about getting along. It's not. Stop it. That's a fantasy. It's everybody argues with everyone. And the more nice you are, the less you get done, or the less chance you have of actually getting what you want. If you don't believe me, ask Bernie Sanders. He's probably the nicest politician on the planet, and it didn't matter how nice he was. They sabotage him and cheat him at every corner. So just stop being nice. Do what the Daily Poster did. Find your evidence and crush people over the head with it. You never know what might come of it. This was not something I'm sure that David Sirota intended. He was just doing his job, but hey, look what we did. Now some corporations are able to be sued, and they should be, and they should lose tons of money because of the horrible things they did during the initial outbreak in New York City. So I'm going to do a couple more episodes today. And you notice, again, I'm talking about Democrats and Republicans here. I don't ever just single out Republicans or Democrats. If you want to talk about sexual harassment, we've got people on both sides of the aisle doing that. An article the interview with Hunter Biden that came out about his like drug addiction. You know, I don't hold that against anybody, but like some of the shit that he was doing was absolutely crazy too. And again, that's not a partisan thing. You know, all of Trump's kids were obvious. All of the people at CPAC were on coke for sure. Like, you don't think that the Trumps and Don himself weren't like on amphetamines the entire time they were in office and before and probably now? Like, I don't care what kind of drugs people are doing, but do you ever notice that it's not a partisan thing? Anybody that tells you that Hunter Biden's gross because he smoked crack, but like doesn't say a thing about anybody in the Trump administration or vice versa, they're just a partisan hack, you know? So I'm trying to make the point that I don't go after Democrats or Republicans. I lump them all into one big group called the elites, and I go after them indiscriminately. I don't care what color tie they wear to work. So I'll do probably an episode on Hunter Biden later, and I'll probably elaborate further on why I don't particularly go after one party. And I know that annoys a lot of you out there, but, you know, fuck you. I love you, but fuck you. We'll see you guys later.